Good evening and welcome once again to Joliet, Illinois, and game number 2 of today's CCAC doubleheader between St. Francis and St. Xavier. Terry Bonadonna with you once more as we get set to start game 2 of the Twin Bill. We're ready to start. Kevin Cardis into the windup. The first pitch of the game is swung on and flown out to left field by Drew Hunniford. Routine play for Jake Vera. One pitch, one out. We're off and running here at Joliet's and University of St. Francis tonight, game number 2 of today's doubleheader. Game 1 went St. Xavier's way. They were victorious by an 8-2 final score. They defeated the Fighting Saints after scoring 3 runs in the first inning. That was enough to get things started for them, really enough to hold on. They ultimately built an 8-0 lead thanks to a 4-run 7th inning. Fighting Saints showed a little fight late in the contest, scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. But that was it for them as Evan Orzek takes ball 1 outside. 1-0 on Orzek, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the first inning. We'll get you the rest of the starting lineups for both of these teams in just a moment. Kevin Cardis is doing the pitching for St. Francis, and he misses low and away for ball 2. Drew Hunniford, we just heard led off playing left field. Evan Orzek, who caught in game 1, is the designated hitter here in game 2. On deck, third baseman Jimmy Smythe. Patrick Duran bats fourth and plays first base for the Cougars. Ball 3 outside, 3-0. Batting fifth, shortstop Declan Smythe. The catcher, hitting sixth, Jordan Bach. Darren Zerillo is at second base, hitting seventh. Colin Wolf patrols center field. And batting ninth, right fielder Daniel Barrios. 3-0 pitch misses low and inside. Kevin Cardis issues the walk. And Evan Orzek didn't have to take the bat off his shoulders on 4 pitches. He makes his way down to first base. Let's take a look at Kevin Cardis and what he brings to the table. This is his 6th appearance this season. Start number 2 for Cardis. He's 0-1 with a 7.15 ERA. In 11 1/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 10 runs, 9 of them earned on 14 hits and 7 walks. He has struck out 6 as an errant pickoff throw allows Orzek to advance to second. Now he heads to third base. The throw comes in from right field and hits the umpire. And Evan Orzek makes it all the way to third base on the pickoff. So an error, a 2-base error on the play. And a tough break for St. Francis as that throw came in from shallow right and hit the base umpire. I don't think they would have gotten him regardless, but they may have. It would have been a play at third base. Instead, Orzek motors 180 feet around to third. And St. Xavier is in good shape to strike first for the second consecutive game. Brian Mahalik comes out to argue that play at third base, but the umpire is part of the field on that particular play. Just an unfortunate break for the Saints. So the first run of the game just 90 feet away now. As Smythe digs in and awaits the first pitch from Kevin Cardis. It's upstairs, ball 1. Cardis has thrown 6 pitches. 5 of them have been balls. The only strike he threw was his first pitch. That was hit out to left field by Drew Hunniford for a flyout. Cardis, a junior right-hander, 5'9" tall, gets a swing and a fly ball into shallow right. Orzek goes back to tag. Tumulty makes the catch. Orzek racing in from third base, and he slides in safely. St. Xavier does indeed strike first. Without the benefit of a hit, they get a run on the board with a walk, an error, and now a sacrifice fly from Jimmy Smythe. And for Smythe, that's RBI number 32 on the season. He has been an incredible hitter so far this year for St. Xavier. Didn't do a whole lot in game 1, though. He did have a first inning single, but went just 1 for 4. Did not drive in a run in game 1. As Patrick Duran swings the first pitch and grounds it to first. Eric Maffey carries it to the bag, and the inning is over. It turns out to be a really quick first inning, but a good one for St. Xavier as they get a run across on a walk, an error, and a sac fly. We head to the bottom of the first inning. St. Xavier leads St. Francis 1-0. Bottom of the first inning coming up. St. Xavier off to a 1-0 start thanks to a sacrifice fly in the top of the first inning. And now the Fighting Saints of St. Francis will bat for the first time. Here's how they line up. Noah Carraro leads off playing shortstop. Batting second, third baseman Alex Martinez. Batting third, first baseman Eric Maffey. Jake Lasota hits cleanup. Lasota is the catcher. Batting fifth, John McGuire. McGuire at second base. Sam Tumulty is in right field. Josh Kernbauer gets the start here in Game 2 as the designated hitter. Kernbauer bats seventh. Luke Ketchum hits eighth and plays center field. And batting ninth, left fielder Jake Vera. That starting nine goes up against a young right-hander making his first start of the season for St. Xavier. It is their sophomore, Caleb Zier. Caleb Zier faces Noah Carraro to start things off. The right-hander's first delivery is swung on and hit sharply on the ground right at the shortstop. Smythe up with it, over to first, in time for out number one. So both the top and the bottom of the first inning have begun with a swing and an out. One pitch, one away in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Alex Martinez. The numbers on Caleb Zier so far this season, I mentioned he hasn't started, but he has pitched out of the bullpen 3 times prior to tonight. No wins, no losses, a 4.15 ERA. In 4 1/3 innings, he's allowed 2 runs on 7 hits and 2 walks. He has struck out 4, and he falls behind Alex Martinez, 1-0. Martinez in Game 1 this afternoon went 1 for 4 with an RBI single. He had the only RBI hit of the game for St. Francis, that coming with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th and final inning. This is chopped foul to the left side, strike 1. Fighting Saints were not able to generate too much offense in Game 1 against Julian Vargas. Vargas was magnificent through 6 innings. In the 7th, he started to unravel. And it looked like the Fighting Saints were getting ready to break through as Martinez takes high for ball 2. It never quite happened. They just ran out of time. Vargas was all over the place, command-wise, in the last inning, after he had been pinpoint for most of the game. Martinez drops to his knees as he falls this one back. 2-2. But even when you lose the game, it's always nice to get a couple of runs in the last inning of Game 1 when you're playing a doubleheader. You don't want to go into that break between games feeling totally despondent about the performance. Martinez strokes it into center field, racing in and making a nice sliding catch is Colin Wolf, 2 down. Well played by Wolf. He had it the whole way. He did slide at the end, but I think that was just to make sure he was catching the ball at keeping it close to eye level. Pretty routine play in the end after the jump that he got on that one, and Eric Maffey will hit with 2 outs and the base is empty. 1-0 St. Xavier leads without the benefit of a hit. Maffey takes ball 1 low. It was a 4-pitch walk that gave the Cougars their base runner in the top half of the inning, and then a 2-base throwing error on a pickoff attempt. That ball is driven out to deep center field. Wolf, a long run back to the warning track. Wolf turns around and watches that one sail over the fence. A solo home run for Eric Maffey. We're tied at 1. Eric Maffey goes deep for the 2nd time this year. RBI number 9. And USF has knotted up the score. An active first inning here. The sirens started to go as soon as that ball was hit over the fence. It's a completely unrelated matter. The fire department right across the street from the ballpark here, but a big blow for Eric Maffey just to the left of straightaway center field. Jake Lasota steps in and takes strike 1. So St. Xavier got their run on a walk, an error, and a sac fly. They really manufactured it. St. Francis gets it with 1 swing of the bat. Lasota takes the ball, 1-1. Jake Lasota is getting his first at bat of the day. He did not get the start in game 1 today, a .288 hitter. A homer, 11 RBIs, and one more hit to his resume now as he grounds one past the diving Jimmy Smythe and into left field. Back-to-back two-out hits for the Fighting Saints. Lasota is aboard. He stands at first base with 2 down. And the Saints will try to keep this rally going with John McGuire stepping in. Get the courtesy runner at first base. John Peterson runs for the catcher Lasota.
Second baseman, number 13, John McGuire.
And McGuire comes to hit. Peterson takes his lead from first base. Zier's first pitch to McGuire is fouled away, strike 1. John McGuire, a .256 batter for the season. Had a productive game 1. He came up to bat 3 times and reached base twice. He singled and was hit by a pitch, officially 1 for 2 in the game for the sophomore McGuire. Called strike, it's 0-2. Zier recorded 2 quick outs, looked like an easy inning for him. But he's found himself in trouble since then. He's now just 1 strike away from getting out of it. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on and chopped to the shortstop. Declan Smythe tosses it over to second base, gets the force there, and ends the inning. St. Francis gets a run on the Eric Maffey home run. We'll head to the second inning, tied up 1-1. We're tied after 1 inning of play. St. Xavier got an early run as they did in game 1. In fact, they scored 3 early runs in game 1. This time just 1, and St. Francis was able to answer it when Eric Maffey hit a solo home run in the bottom of the frame. So Declan Smythe leads off the second in a tie game. Smythe swings at the first pitch from Cardis and knocks it down the left field line. Just fair. And it goes down to the corner. Extra bases for Smythe, who motors around first and into second base. It's a double. First hit of the game for St. Xavier, and it comes on the first pitch of the inning. These Cougars hitters have been very aggressive against Kevin Cardis. 4 of the first 5 batters in this game for St. Xavier have put the ball in play on either the first or second pitch of the at-bat. And that brings up Jordan Bach for the first time today. Runner at second base, nobody out. Bach wearing number 80 on his back. Left-handed hitting catcher. Takes the first pitch strike. Jordan Bach was on the bench in game 1 as Evan Orzak got the start. Orzak, who has been arguably the team's best hitter this season, or at least one of their best hitters, is not going to leave the lineup, but it's tough to catch consecutive games, so he's DHing here in game 2. Bach fouls it away, 0-2. Bach's been pretty good in relief work for Orzek when he has started the other half of a doubleheader this year. He's batting .304 in limited action, just 23 at bats for him. But 2 of his 21 hits, 2 of his 7 hits rather, have been home runs. I knew he didn't have 21 hits. 21 for 23. Seems like a bit too much. It seems like it'd be better than a .304 average. He's 7 for 23. 3 RBIs. Ball outside. That makes it 1-2. I was reading the wrong stat line entirely. Jordan Bach is hitting .304 with 3 RBIs. He does not have 2 homers. He's got 2 doubles. Still pretty good. One and 2. He lines it hard but foul to the left side. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. The sun has disappeared. It is an overcast Monday afternoon now. Still warm outside. Not quite as warm as it was when this thing started at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Game 1 of the doubleheader started at 3. Ball outside, 2-2. At that point, it was unseasonably warm. A late spring kind of day. This is very early spring, day 2 of the astrological season. Pickoff throw back to second base. And Declan Smythe gets back to the bag. Smythe doubled on the first pitch of the inning. It was his 7th double of the season. Also his 2nd hit of today's doubleheader. And now trying to score the 2nd run of the game. Ball outside, full count. So I talked about the aggressiveness of these St. Xavier hitters and the fact that they've all had quick at-bats today, and as soon as I mention it, Jordan Bach works the count full. He'll see a 7th pitch from Kevin Cardis, who's trying to put him away for the first out of the inning. Popped foul and out of play, still 3-2. It's a big inning for Cardis. St. Xavier's got such a good offense. And they've been leading the entire day. They led from start to finish in the opener today. 3 runs in the top of the first, so St. Francis never came to bat without a multi-run deficit. Hard grounder right side and into right center field. A base hit for Jordan Bach. This will score Declan Smythe. And as he crosses the plate, it's a 2-1 St. Xavier lead. That kind of blows up what I was just talking about and the importance of holding St. Xavier off the scoreboard this inning. They end up with back-to-back hits to begin this frame. And now a substitute runner at first base. They bring in Watkins to run for the catcher. Ben Watkins, sophomore reserve outfielder, is the courtesy runner here as Declan Smythe comes home on the Jordan Bach single. Pickoff attempt at first base. He's back in there safely. Darren Zerillo is the batter. Zerillo 1 for 2 with a triple, a run scored, and an RBI on a sac fly in game 1. Swings at the first pitch here and pops it into foul ground right side towards the St. Francis dugout, and just out of the reach of the first baseman Eric Maffey. Strike 1. Landed inside of St. Francis's dugout, but maybe 3 or 4 feet beyond the stretched arm of Maffey. 0-1 on Zerillo, who came into today's twin bill hitting .318 for the season, 7 for 22. So I guess that makes him 8 for 24 now. So he went 1 for 2 in game 1, and that's a .333 batting average. Popped up foul to the right side again towards the seats, and it's again out of play. 0-2. The point that I was making prior to that St. Xavier run is just how important it is when you're playing a team as good as this. And they have been in total control all the way through. When you're able to capture some momentum, you don't want it to disappear so quickly, especially when it means the lead is going back the other way. But St. Xavier in very short order got back in front. The first 2 batters of this second inning A double from Declan Smythe and a single from Jordan Bach. It's a 2-1 ball game in favor of the Cougars. 0-2 pitch to Zerillo. This is for a ball. It's 2-2, or 1-2, sorry. St. Xavier entered the day today hitting .316 as a team, averaging right around 8 runs per game. Ball upstairs, 2-2. To put this into perspective a little bit, coming into today, St. Francis's leading hitter had a .306 batting average. So St. Xavier's entire team was hitting 10 points higher than St. Francis's best hitter. Popped up, foul ground right side. This one looks like it'll stay in play though. Maffey camps under it, makes the catch, and there's out number 1 here in the top of the second inning. That's a big first out. Took a long time to get there after some good battles between Kevin Cardis and the St. Xavier offense, but with Watkins, the pinch runner at first base. There is now 1 out, and Colin Wolf is the batter. This will be the 15th pitch of the inning. It is swung on and flown into right field. Coming in Tumulty, can't make it on the fly. Has to play it on 1 bounce. And it's a single for Colin Wolf. Tumulty came racing in on that ball, and he came up just a little bit short. Watkins was running on the pitch, and he never turned around to locate the ball, so he was already standing at second base. And if Tumulty had been able to catch that ball, that would have been as easy a double play as he's ever had in his life. Instead, it's runners at first and second with only 1 out for Daniel Barrios. He came up just a little bit short. Ball 1 low and in on Barrios. Cougars got a run without a hit in the first inning. Here in the second inning, 3 hits already. Ball up and away. 2-0. Cardis has issued 1 walk so far in this game. That did come back to haunt him, as that run came in to score in the first inning. Fouled off to the left side, out of play. 2-1. The lights are on. We're still about an hour away from sunset, but it has gotten pretty dark here. Not rain cloud dark, just no sun dark. Fouled away. 2-2. As I mentioned, it's cooled off a little bit from where we were at the start of the doubleheader, but still a really nice evening. Much warmer than you would expect for a day in March 21st. A day in late March in general. Cardis steps off the mound to look Watkins back to second base. It's Watkins at second and Wolf at first. Watkins is the courtesy runner for the catcher Jordan Bach, who had an RBI single. Colin Wolf singled as well. That ball hit hard out to right field. Tumulty makes a diving effort, and it skips past his glove. Watkins scores. Colin Wolf pulls up at third base and stops there. Nice job by Tumulty to chase that ball down and not allow the St. Xavier base runners to just scamper all around. But 1 run does score on a double for Daniel Barrios. It's now 3-1 St. Xavier, and they're still threatening with runners at second and third, and only 1 out. They are hitting the ball hard here in the second inning. So Tumulty tried on that play what he did not on the previous one. Again, the previous play, he had an easy double play if he could have made the catch, and it was just a little bit too far in for him to come in and grab it. Drew Hunterford fouls it away to the left side. Strike 1. This one was a little too far in as well, but he laid out anyway. Not sure if he had the image of the previous fly ball in his mind as he did so. And the fact that just a few more feet, they could have been out of the inning. But made an effort on that last one that may not have been the wisest decision. Ball called on Hunterford, 1-1. And it allowed an extra base for at least one base runner. Barrios certainly would not have gotten to second if Tumulty had been able to knock that ball down. I don't know about Watkins or Wolf and the bases that they advanced to, but this takes the force out of play at every base except for first. Right now they're at second and third. That's Wolf at third, Barrios at second. 2 runs are in so far this inning for the Cougars of St. Xavier. 1-1 to Hunterford. Over the outside corner, that's a strike. Count is 1-2. Hunterford flew to left field on the first pitch of this game. He's 0 for 1. Kevin Cardis trying to put him away once and for all here in this second inning at bat. And it's a ball inside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. Chopper down the first base line, foul. Still 2-2. St. Francis used 2 pitchers in game 1. Colin Kelly started. He went 6 1/3 innings, and then Andrew Hancock came out of the bullpen and got the final 2 outs in the 7th. At this rate, I don't know how much longer Kevin Cardis is going to be able to last, which is not to say that his day is nearing an end, but he is working awfully hard to get out of this second inning. Still just 1 out. Ball 3, it counts full. He's right around 30 pitches right now for the inning. He had a very quick first. Gave up that run, but no hits. Got out of it relatively quickly. The second inning has been a different story. The 3-2. Hunterford pops it up. Left side. Long run for Jake Vera into foul territory, and he overruns it. It's a foul ball, and the at-bat will continue for Drew Hunterford. Nice effort by Jake Vera. He misjudged it slightly, but I think what happened more than anything is he took his eye off the ball as he approached that pitcher's mound down in the left field bullpen. Such a dangerous area ever to be in anytime you're approaching that mound. So you can hardly blame him for being concerned about it, but it did, I think, probably cost him the catch as he was coming in at full speed. Took his eye off the ball for a moment, and when he did, he was not able to locate it and ended up taking about a step and a half past it. Tried to reach back at the last second, but was not able to pull it in. So a meeting on the mound now with the score 3-1 in favor of the visiting team from the south side of Chicago, the St. Xavier Cougars, who have put up a big second inning so far. Already 4 hits this inning, including a couple of singles and a couple of doubles. They've got runners at second and third bases right now. And a long battle between Kevin Cardis and Drew Hunterford is in front of us as the Saints talk things over on the mound. It's still 3-2. Hunterford has seen 7 pitches so far in this at-bat. We're about ready to continue here. Evan Orzak is on deck. First base is open, but you don't want to walk Hunterford and load the bases for Orzak and then Jimmy Smythe. Maybe the best 1-2 punch of any team in the CCAC. Another 3-2 coming up now. Another fly ball into foul territory left side. This one, though, well out of play. And so both Vera and Alex Martinez, the third baseman, just watch it fly out. Hunterford will see a 9th pitch. Eric Maffey hit a solo home run in the bottom of the first inning, tying the score at 1. Everything was looking up for St. Francis, but the St. Xavier offense has stifled any excitement for the hometown fans. Another 3-2 pitch. Cardis to Hunniford. Inside, he walked him. So a good battle between the leadoff batter and the St. Francis starter. Ends up going to Hunniford, and he loads the bases with one out. The batter is Evan Orzek. Orzek, a .410 hitter at the start of play today. In the 2 games so far, he's gone 1 for 3. He's walked, and he's been hit by a pitch, so he's been on base in 3 of 5 plate appearances. He has scored 3 runs and driven in 1. He strokes this one to the right side. A leaping grab made by the second baseman, John McGuire. And McGuire steps on second base for the double play to end the inning. Wow, what a turn of events right there. St. Xavier was threatening. They had already scored twice. They had the bases loaded with one out. They seem to have Cardis on the ropes, and Orzek hits a laser beam to the right side of the infield. But John McGuire uses every inch of his 6-foot frame, leaping up to make that grab, and he's able to double up Barrios, the runner at second base, and get out of the inning. So St. Xavier scores a couple of times. Could have been a lot worse, though, as we head to the bottom of the second. St. Francis trails 3-1. St. Francis trails as we move into the bottom of the second inning, but they carry a little bit of momentum into the bottom of the second as a big-time double play turned by John McGuire gets them out of a big jam and trying to get back into some offense here as Sam Tumulty bounces the first pitch foul for strike one. Caleb Zier on the mound for St. Xavier. Zier gave up a pair of hits, including a home run in the first inning, but he pitches with the lead here as Tumulty bounces it foul to the left side. Strike two. Sam Tumulty in game one today, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. He was robbed by Drew Hunniford, who made a nice running grab in deep left field in his first at-bat. So he swung the bat well despite the offer. Foul tipped, still 0-2. Bases were loaded with only one out. Evan Orzek jumped on the first pitch from Kevin Cardis and hit it about as hard as he could to the right side. But McGuire's great leaping grab keeps St. Francis in the game. This had a chance to get ugly early. Ground ball to third. Smythe over to first base. Close play, just barely got him. Credit to Sam Tumulty for running that whole thing out. He's got speed. He showed it right there. And what looked like a routine play turned into a very close call at first base. But the leadoff batter is retired for the second consecutive inning. Here's Josh Kernbauer. Kernbauer, the sophomore infielder, getting the start at designated hitter here in game two. He swings the first pitch, bounces it to third. This time Smythe comes in on it. Gloves and throws in time, 2 down. You've seen the many moves of Jimmy Smythe so far in this second inning. Backing up on the ball hit by Sam Tumulty, made the long throw to first base in time. This time he shows off his quickness in charging And firing a strike over to Patrick Doran. 2 up, 2 down on a couple of assists from Jimmy Smythe. Here's Luke Ketchum. Ketchum swings at the first pitch and taps it foul. Strike 1. Luke Ketchum, St. Francis's leading hitter, went 0 for 2 in game 1. He was hit by a pitch and scored the first run for the Saints in the last inning of offense. Chopper foul off his foot. Strike 2. Caleb Zier is 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Zier out of the bullpen this season, in granted limited action, was striking out about a player per inning. So he's got some strikeout stuff as he misses high on Ketchum 1 and 2. Like I said, very limited action. 4 strikeouts in 4 innings. That's what I'm talking about. I say about a strikeout an inning. Technically 4 1/3 innings. Ketchum fouls it back. Still 1 and 2. No punch outs yet today. He has been forcing the Saints hitters to put the ball on the ground up to this point, and on this field. As a pitcher, you typically like your chances if you're getting a lot of ground balls. It's a slow turf. Bouncer foul past third. Still 1 and 2. Ground balls get eaten up a lot by the artificial surface here in Joliet. There's a shot to left field, a base hit for Luke Ketchum. Ketchum's got his first hit of the game. First hit of the day, in fact. Which is what I meant to say the first time. He is aboard with 2 outs. Here's Jake Vera. Caleb Zier's had no problem getting those first 2 outs. It's the third one that's proven so pesky to him. Got 2 quick outs in the first, then gave up a homer and a single. Fighting Saints wouldn't mind the same story in a reversed order here. Ball 1 on Jake Vera. Already a man at first base on a single. Now it's Vera, the .296 hitter, who went 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in game 1 tonight. He swings and misses. It's 1 and 1. Ball in the dirt. Ketchum takes off for second. The throw from Bach. Not in time, but he overslid the bag, and Ketchum is out at second base. It looked like he had it safely. The ball didn't get too far away from Bach. And so a good throw would have made it a very close play. It was a pretty good throw, and it was a close play, but Ketchum had it beat. And then he overslid the bag. The tag was applied after his hand had left second base, and Luke Ketchum officially caught stealing to end the bottom of the second inning. No runs despite the hits, and nobody left as we head to the third. 3-1 St. Xavier. We've got 7 innings to play here in our doubleheader. We've played 9 so far, including the 7 in game 1. Action-packed couple of innings here in game 2. Already it's 3-1. St. Xavier scored a run the first, 2 in the second. St. Francis scored 1 in the first. So both teams have been active offensively. Kevin Cardis' first pitch of the third inning is popped up by Jimmy Smythe on the infield. John McGuire, the second baseman, makes the catch, and there's out number 1. Second time today that Cardis has recorded an out on the first pitch of an inning. In fact, in 3 innings, St. Xavier has put the ball in play against him on the first pitch of every inning. Here's Patrick Duran. Cougars sent 7 men to the plate in the second inning. Looked like they were going to bust this thing wide open. It didn't happen. Ball 1 on Patrick Duran. Thanks to the defensive work of John McGuire, who pulled an unassisted double play to end a bases-loaded threat. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Nice pitch right there from Kevin Cardis. Sometimes you get a little help from your defense. It fires you up some more. We'll see if that's the case for Cardis, if it turns into his best inning of the game here. Before the 1-1, the batter steps out of the box. Recomposes himself before digging back in. Cardis goes into the windup. Patrick Duran pops it up on the infield, left side this time. It is called for by the third baseman, Alex Martinez, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Kevin Cardis hung in on that pop fly for a long time. Martinez was yelling at him to get out of the way. And Martinez ultimately was able to make the catch. That's rarely going to be the pitcher's ball. Either the third baseman or the shortstop should have rights to that one, and it was the third baseman making the grab. 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the third. See if Cardis has his first perfect inning in front of him. It's Declan Smythe, the batter, and Smythe takes ball 1. Smythe led off the second inning. He's the guy who started that 2-run rally with a double. Ball low, 2-0. That misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. So Cardis was on a roll here, and all of a sudden he's lost his command a bit. Doesn't want to put Declan Smythe aboard. Jordan Bach is on deck, and Bach put a good swing on the ball back in the second inning in his first at bat. Cardis trying to set up him to start the 4th inning. There's a called strike, 3-1. 3-1 is the count and the score. As Cardis winds up for the next delivery. Ground ball to third base. Alex Martinez over to first base. Looking at the wrong team here. 5-3 put out. The inning is over. 1, 2, 3. Go the Cougars in the third. Kevin Cardis' best frame yet. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. 3-1. St. Xavier on top. Bottom of the third inning, 9-1-2 due up for St. Francis. That means Jake Vera leads things off against Caleb Zier. Zier's first pitch is swung on and flown into center field, right at the new center fielder. Ben Watkins drifts to his right, makes the catch, one away. So that's Watkins in center field in place of Colin Wolfe. He just checked in at the start of this inning. One pitch, one out in the bottom half of the third, and we're back to the top of the order. 3 hits so far in the ball game for St. Francis. Luke Ketchum singled in the second, but was caught stealing to end that frame. So that's why Vera got a fresh at bat. Not able to make it pay off, though, as Noah Carraro takes strike one. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Flipped out to right field, taking a step back. Now over to his right, Dan Barrios makes the catch. Couple of quick outs here. We have seen our first 1-2-3 inning came in the top of the third when Kevin Cardis set down the St. Xavier batting lineup in order. And now Caleb Zier is trying to match him and do the same thing in the bottom of the third inning. As he faces Alex Martinez for the second time and fires ball one outside. Martinez is 0 for 1. He flew to center in the first inning. He flies this one to left. It's deep. Backing Hunniford up to the warning track, and Hunniford just in front of the wall has room to make the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Saints in the third. They fly out 3 times to 3 different outfielders. Everybody got in on the act for St. Xavier. We'll go to the fourth. Cougars lead the Saints by 2.
Off the St. Xavier fourth inning. The catcher, number 80, Jordan Bach.
Jordan Bach leads things off in the top of the fourth inning for St. Xavier. It's Bach, Zerillo, and Wolfe scheduled to hit. First pitch from Kevin Cardis is taken right back up the box and out to center field. A base hit for Jordan Bach, who's now 2 for 2 in the ball game. One looked like it may have hit off the pitching rubber, took a high hop into the air, and then trickled out to center field. But a hard hit ball from Bach. Snaps a string of 4 straight retired by Kevin Cardis. Hit number 5 today for St. Xavier. And he is replaced at first base by a pinch runner. It was Ben Watkins, the courtesy runner for him the first time around, but Watkins has checked into the game now to play center field, so they have to go to a new courtesy runner. I think that is Kyle Papera, who started in right field in game 1. Running over at first base for Bach now. Quick pickoff throw over to first base, sends him diving back to the bag. The batter is Zerillo. Darren Zerillo is 0 for 1 with a pop-out. Fouled to the right side, strike one. St. Xavier got a run in the first, 2 more in the second. They had 4 hits in that 2-run second inning and a chance to add more to their lead before a double play ended it. And then Cardis bounced back with a really impressive third inning. Not only did he set him down 1, 2, 3, but he did that against the 3, 4, and 5 batters in the order. So now he faces the bottom of the St. Xavier lineup in this 4th inning. Bach is aboard with a single. Now it's 0-1 on Zerillo. Zerillo takes a strike. The count is 0-2. Cardis comes set and delivers. It's fouled off to the right side. Out of play. Still 0-2. Cardis is throwing strikes though. Always an important thing with any pitcher, but Kevin Cardis had 7 walks in 11 innings coming in. So the control was a concern. He walked 2 of the first 10 batters he faced today. He's still at 2 right now. You'd love to see him getting ahead of guys consistently, as he has for the most part the last 2 innings. His pickoff throw is a little errant, but it doesn't count as a ball. And it doesn't get too far away from Maffey either. It just rolled to a stop a few feet behind him, so no chance for the runner to advance. Still 0-2, nobody out with this runner at first base. Hard grounder right at the shortstop. A bobble, and the throw is at first base. Everybody is safe. Looked like a tailor-made double play, but Noah Carraro could not get a grip on it. And so everybody is safe at first and second here with nobody out. And it could have been bases empty, 2 outs if the play had been made cleanly. Zerillo runs well, but the ball was hit hard. I think if Carraro makes the play cleanly, that's a pretty easy double play. Instead, Cardis will have to work out of trouble. First and second, nobody out. Ben Watkins is the batter. Watkins shows bunt, takes a ball. Snap throw from Lasota down to second base, and Papera gets back to the bag safely. So St. Xavier putting the Saints in a little bit more trouble here. Watkins ready to bunt again. This time he gets a piece of it and fouls it back. Strike one. The Cougars were in control the whole way in game 1, but it wasn't until their big rally in the 7th inning that they really put the game away. Extended the lead from 4-0 to 8-0. And at that point it was pretty much over. Similarly, so far in this game, St. Xavier has led the whole time, other than a brief period when St. Francis tied it up. Pickoff throw to second base, and Para again able to dive back in ahead of the tag. But it's imperative for the Saints to keep it close here. They can't afford to see St. Xavier pull away with a big inning the same way they did before. 1-1. Watkins again trying to bunt. Pulls the bat back. The ball goes through the hands of Jake Lasota, and the runners advance. Papera to third. Zerillo to second. And it's a 2-1 count on Ben Watkins. So this trouble just got a little bit more serious for Kevin Cardis. There's a flip out to left center field. It drops in for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the second. The throw comes in from left field. The throw is on time. The tag is applied. And Zerillo is out at the plate. 1 run does score for St. Xavier on the RBI hit from Ben Watkins. But an out recorded at the plate. It's the first out of the inning. The score is 4-1 now in favor of St. Xavier. An RBI single for Watkins. And for Ben Watkins, that is RBI number 6 of the season. But Jake Vera throws a strike to the plate to cut down Zerillo, who was trying to score from second on the play. So an exciting play all around. 1 out now, 3-run game, and Barrios is the hitter. He flies one out to deep left center field. Long run back, Luke Ketchum, and he's able to chase it down. Nice grab by Ketchum. Runner tags from second and heads into third base. So it's Watkins at third now, 2 outs in the inning. This is the second time in this game that St. Xavier has scored a run, but they've threatened to make it a big inning. They were not able to make it a big inning in the second. And now we'll see if Kevin Cardis can pitch out of the trouble here as well. Drew Hunniford is the batter, back to the top of the order. So Watkins had the RBI single. He moved to second on the throw home. He's at third now on that fly out as Hunniford takes strike 1. So he's been able to wheel his way around the bases. "90 feet away now from adding another one for the Cougars. Hunniford trying to get him in, but he takes a strike. It's 0-2. Cardis 1 strike away from getting out of this 4th inning. Lined up the middle. That's a single into center field, and that scores Watkins and makes it 5-1. On an 0-2 pitch, he's able to line one straight back at Cardis, and Drew Hunniford has his first hit of the game and an RBI to boot. It's 5-1 St. Xavier, and that'll do it for Kevin Cardis. Cardis struggled to get out of this 4th inning. Got a big boost from his defense on the play at the plate, but ultimately he has to depart as he's unable to get the final out. I'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back from a quick break. Top of the 4th inning, St. Xavier up 5-1. They've got a runner at first base, 2 outs, and Nick Clemens coming in to pitch in just a moment. New pitcher for St. Francis, trying to get him out of this inning. 2 runs are in so far in the 4th for St. Xavier's. They've extended their lead to 5-1. Nick Clemens comes out of the bullpen for the 8th time this year. He's 0-1 with a 4.50 ERA. His first pitch with the runner on the move is a ball. Lesoto's throw to second, not in time. 1-0 on Evan Orzak. Drew Hunniford swipes second base. So another runner in scoring position. Nick Clemens, the senior, transferred from Joliet Junior College. In his 7 outings this year, has thrown 6 innings. He's allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned. 5 hits, 5 walks. He's got 4 strikeouts. He misses high on Orzak. 2-0. Kevin Cardis came so close to getting out of this inning. He pulled the magic act back in the second when St. Xavier had the bases loaded with only one out. And that hard line drive off the bat of this man, Evan Orzek, turned into a double play to end that inning. Just couldn't pull the same thing off here in the fourth. Ball high, 3-0. There was a play at the plate in which Jake Vera was able to throw out Darren Zerillo, who tried to score from second on a single. That certainly helped out St. Francis's cause. But after getting ahead of Hunterford 0-2, he couldn't finish him off. Hunterford singled up the middle, and that's what chased Kevin Cardis from the game. 3-0 on Orzek, and he takes a strike. It's 3-1. So a 4-run game now. Nice little cushion for Caleb Zier, who hasn't been quite as dominant as Julian Vargas was in game one, though that would be difficult. He has been solid through 3 innings, including a 1-2-3 third. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up a mile high on the infield. Now drifting back into shallow left. It's the shortstop Carraro making the grab and retiring the side. So 2 runs is what St. Xavier will settle for. 3 hits, a costly error in the inning, and we head to the bottom of the fourth with the Cougars leading the Saints 5-1. We move into the bottom of the fourth inning. St. Francis has some work to do. They trail 5-1, and they'll send their 3, 4, and 5 hitters up, Naffy, Lasota, and McGuire, against a new St. Xavier pitcher. Nico Saldias' first pitch is grounded to the second baseman. Down to one knee. Darren Zerillo fields it and throws over to first. 1 away. Another first pitch out 3 times in 4 innings. The inning has begun with the first pitch out. That's happened on the other side, too. St. Xavier has been retired on the first pitch in almost every inning, too, or at least they put it in play on the first pitch of every inning. 4 straight Saints have been retired as Jake Lasota stands in against Saldias. I'll give you his numbers in just a moment. Strike 1 called on Lasota. I'll give you the numbers of Caleb Zier as well. Zier pitched well in his first start of the season. 3 innings. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits. No walks, no strikeouts. Swing and a miss for Lasota. It's 0-2. Xavier was throwing the ball well, but again, he hadn't started yet this year. So he was able to give Addison Rouse 3 strong innings. That's good enough for now. Let the bullpen do the rest of the work. Fouled away, still 0-2. Nico Saldias this season has pitched in 5 prior games. This is his 3rd relief appearance. He's 0-1 with a 6.28 ERA. In 14 1/3 innings, he's allowed 10 runs on 14 hits with 22 strikeouts and 7 walks. He misses low for ball 1 on Lasota. Jake Lasota is 1 for 1 after sitting out game 1 of the Twin Bill. Came in to start game 2 and immediately asserted his presence in the game with a single in his first at-bat. Now in his second at-bat, he strikes out swinging. First strikeout of the game for St. Xavier pitching. 2 up, 2 down in the 4th. 5 straight Saints have been retired overall by a pair of pitchers. Here's John McGuire. McGuire is 0 for 1. Grounded to the shortstop to end the first inning. Strike 1 called. McGuire made the defensive play in the game back in the second inning. A great unassisted double play that got the Saints out of trouble, but they've gotten back into trouble since then as they trail by 4. McGuire hits a high bouncer down the third base line. Tough play for Jimmy Smythe. It kicks off his foot, and McGuire is safe at first base. Tough play for Jimmy Smythe racing in from third base. That one took a bounce, the likes of which you don't see very often, as it hit off of his foot. I think it just skipped right past his glove and into his foot and then kicked high into the air. Smythe has been very impressive at third base today. I mean, I haven't seen him play prior to today, but he looks very sharp as a third baseman. That's a tough play to make, but it's one that, based on some of the other plays I've seen him make today, I kind of expected him to. As Tumulty takes strike 1. An infield single for John McGuire with 2 outs to keep the inning alive. Snaps a string of 5 straight Saints set down. Let's see if they can turn it into something. Fouled back by Tumulty, 0-2. Nico Saldias is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Foul back. Still 0-2. The single from McGuire is the 4th hit of the game for St. Francis. The first one was an Eric Maffey home run. Since then, all of their hits have been singles, and none of those runners have made it past first base. Try to change that right now. Fouled away by Tumulty, still 0-2. Both of the starters have departed. Far cry from what we saw in game 1. It was a 7-inning game. And St. Xavier starter Julian Vargas went the distance. St. Francis' starter nearly did the same. Colin Kelly ended up going 6 1/3. He was pulled after giving up a couple of base runners in the 7th. The 0-2. And the dirt, it skips away from Jordan Bach, and that does allow McGuire to advance to second base. So that's the first man to reach second in today's game for St. Francis since the Maffey home run in the first inning. And actually, of course, since Maffey homered, he never stopped at second base. So this is the first time anybody has batted for St. Francis in this game with a runner in scoring position. 1-2. This is the 6th pitch of the at-bat. And the final one as Tumulty strikes out swinging. Nice work by Nico Saldias in the 4th inning as he is able to get a pair of strikeouts and pitch around the infield single for McGuire. We go to the 5th. St. Xavier up 5-1. New inning, new pitcher for St. Francis as we start the fifth. 5-1. St. Xavier has the lead. Quinn McGuire, the freshman, is the new pitcher for the Fighting Saints. They'll face 3, 4, and 5 in the St. Xavier order. Jimmy Smythe leads things off and takes ball one high. McGuire's the third pitcher of this game for St. Francis. The starter, Kevin Cardis, went 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 5 runs, 4 of them earned. 1-0. Hit high into the air, right side, foul ground. Maffey over in front of the dugout. That one lands just beyond the dugout. Strike one. Actually, I've got to check my math on that. I think maybe 3 were earned? No, I think 4 is correct. 4 earned runs. There was the critical error last inning, remember, that would have helped him out quite a bit. It looked like a tailor-made double play. They ended up not getting any outs on the play. But you can't assume a double play, of course, as far as official scoring is concerned. So officially it was only a 1-out error. Ball high makes it 2-1 on Jimmy Smythe, who's 0 for 1 with a pop-out and an RBI thanks to a sacrifice fly. 2-1 pitch. Up and in, ball 3. Jimmy Smythe, one of the most dangerous hitters in the conference, if not the country. He's been pretty well held in check so far by St. Francis's pitching, but he's in the driver's seat in this at-bat, and he takes ball 4. So a leadoff walk issued by Quinn McGuire. Nick Clemens was the second pitcher of the game for St. Francis. Clemens came in with a runner on base in the 4th inning and 2 outs. He got Evan Orzek to pop out on a 3-1 pitch, and that was his contribution to the game, and now McGuire becomes the third pitcher. 7th appearance of the season. McGuire's 0-2 with an even 9 ERA. His first pitch to Patrick Duran here. Chopped foul to the right side. Strike 1. McGuire in 10 innings pitched this season has allowed 10 runs, all of them earned on 10 hits, 3 strikeouts. And to begin this appearance, he just issued his 5th walk of the year. Duran is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop out. He takes one in the dirt. It gets by Lasota. Runner advances on the wild pitch. The count is 1-1 now on Duran, and Jimmy Smythe moves into scoring position. He's at second base with nobody out. It's been a tough go of it here in game 2 for St. Francis pitching. A lot of base runners for St. Xavier. They've got 7 hits in the game. They've been benefited by an error, 3 walks now. There's been a wild pitch. There's been a passed ball. They've stolen a few bags as well, so they've been moving up and down the baselines all day. Ball 2 on Patrick Duran, 2-1. They've left 3 men on base, and they've hit into a double play. They've also had a man thrown out at home plate. This one is popped up foul to the left side and out of play. Evens the count at 2. But all that to say that in some ways the Fighting Saints are a little bit fortunate to be down just 5-1 right now. Cougars have had some chances to break this game open. And whether it's been because of excellent defense or some mistakes made by St. Xavier, whatever the case, or good pitching in some cases as well, some pitching out of jams too. In any case, St. Francis has kept themselves in this game, but they can't afford to let the Cougars get so many base runners. Jimmy Smythe led off this inning by walking. I should point out, or at least I feel like pointing out, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway, that walk was interesting to start this inning for one reason to me, is that ball is flown into center field deep. In left center, Ketchum chases it down and makes the catch. Smythe tags from second base and makes it into third. So a productive out for Patrick Duran as he flies out to deep left center. Good read on that ball by Luke Ketchum. Made it look easy, but that ball was hit pretty far from where he was initially positioned on that play. Covered a lot of ground. He's able to make the grab for the second out. Smythe now just 90 feet away from another St. Xavier run. The first 4 innings of this game, again, this is probably only interesting to me, but the first 4 innings, the ball was put in play on the first pitch of every inning by St. Xavier hitters. Hunterford flew out on the first pitch of the game as Smythe takes a ball high. Declan Smythe doubled on the first pitch of the second inning. Jimmy Smythe popped out on the first pitch of the third inning. And Jordan Bach singled on the first pitch of the fourth inning. And here in the fifth, Jimmy Smythe decided to be patient. He drew a 5-pitch walk. Declan Smythe pops it out to the right side, foul ground, and out of play. One and one. St. Francis' leadoff hitters, for what it's worth, have been aggressive too. 3 out of the 4 innings offensively for the Saints have also begun with a first pitch ball in play. 1 and 1. There's a strike over the outside corner. It's 1 and 2. Quinn McGuire has not been a big strikeout pitcher to start his collegiate career. Just 3 of them in 10 1/3 innings. This would be a good time for one right here with a runner at third base. Infield is in. McGuire misses high for ball 2. Two offering. Hit hard out to left field, down the line. That ball drops in and skips to the wall. Jimmy Smythe scores. Declan Smythe stops at second base. And he's got himself an RBI double, his second double and first RBI of the game. 6-1 St. Xavier. With 2 strikes on him, he's able to come through. And credit to the Cougars, they've done a lot of that today. Big 2-strike hitting. It looks like St. Francis is nearing an end to a trouble spot. There's a called first pitch strike on Jordan Bach. Bach is 2 for 2 in this game. He's the backup catcher, getting the start here in game 2 after Evan Orzak spent the time behind the plate in game 1. Ball low and in. 1 and 1. Usually it's Orzak's bat that you want to make sure to keep in the lineup every game, whether as catcher or DH, but Bach's making a bid for a few more at-bats the way he's playing right now. 2 for 2 in this game with an RBI. His spot in the batting order has produced 2 runs as well. Neither one was him. They were both pinch runners as a wild pitch allows Declan Smythe to advance to third base. Count is 2 and 1 on Jordan Bach. So another wild pitch. That's the second one of the inning. Bach came in hitting better than 300 for the season. He's now 9 for 25 this year, including his action this afternoon. He flies this one into center field. Ketchum backs up on it, so it's not a hit for Bach as Ketchum makes the grab. But thanks to the wild pitch, Declan Smythe is able to score from third base. It's now 7-1 St. Xavier. Cougars have been hitting the ball hard in today's game. I won't claim that they haven't been, but I think what's been more impressive offensively in this game has been the fact that they've done all the little things right, advancing the extra base, putting the bat on the ball most when they need to, or when they need to most, I suppose is a better way of phrasing that. Ball 1 high on Darren Zerillo. Zerillo's 0 for 2. He reached on an error his last time up. Foul back. Count is 1 and 1. They've got 7 runs on 8 hits in this game. They just scored on a sacrifice fly following a wild pitch. And that's kind of similar to the way they scored their first run of the game, a walk, an error, and another sac fly. Swing and a miss. It's 1 and 2. Nice fastball from Quinn McGuire that time. taking those extra bases has allowed them to get a couple more runs on the board with flyouts. Ball high, 2-2, but part of that has been St. Francis making mistakes as well. The wild pitches are harmful, and the pitcher's error back in the first inning that led to the run scoring was costly as well. In fact, Saints have committed 2 errors today that both led to run scoring. As I say that, I'm trying to solve my own mystery, and I think it is just 3 earned runs against Kevin Cardis in his 3 2/3 innings. Swing and a miss, and Lasota makes the catch for out number 3. It popped out of his glove, and that would have allowed Zerillo to run down to first base, but Lasota, good hand-eye coordination, was able to pull it in on the rebound. And so it is officially a caught third strike, and the inning comes to a close. McGuire gets out of it with the strikeout, but 2 runs score for St. Xavier on 1 hit. Nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, 7-1. St. Xavier on top.
Designated hitter number 12, Josh Kernbauer.
Josh Kernbauer leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for St. Francis, looking for a rally here as they trail by 6. In the middle innings, Josh Kernbauer takes the first pitch strike from Nico Saldias, who's on for his 2nd inning of work. He was impressive in his 1st inning. He fires a strike here, 0-2. Allowed an infield single, but otherwise no damage, and struck out 2 Fighting Saints. The 0-2 pitch misses downstairs, ball 1. Josh Kernbauer getting his 2nd at bat of the day. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Did not play in game 1. Kernbauer DHing here in game number 2. He fouls it away. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kernbauer's a .241 hitter overall this year. 14 for 58, no extra base hits. He's got 7 RBIs. The sophomore infielder takes the ball down low, 2-2. Against Nico Saldias, who's a freshman out of Ajax, Ontario, the 2nd pitcher of the game for St. Xavier after Caleb Zier started and went 3. Zier pitched well, did not leave the ball game because of anything that had gone wrong on the field. Popped up down the right field line into foul ground. It hangs in the air, and Darren Zerillo is able to make a nice running grab. Well played by Zerillo. Kernbauer is retired for the first out of the 5th inning. But I think the plan was to have Caleb Zier pitch about 3 innings. He threw well. In fact, in the 3rd inning, he went 1-2-3 on only 5 pitches. So he was throwing really well. but it was his first start of the year. Had only thrown 4 1/3 innings coming in, all out of the bullpen. So got a chance to stretch his arm out a little bit as this first pitch to Luke Ketchum is fouled off for strike one. Ketchum is 1 for 1 in the game with a single. He was caught stealing back in the second inning after reaching on that base hit. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. The count is 0-2. Jake Vera is on deck. If anybody reaches, Noah Carraro will hit here in this 5th inning as well. Saldias' 0-2 pitch misses high, ball 1. Game 2 of the week for St. Francis. This game was initially scheduled for tomorrow, pushed up a day as a result of the weather. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. 3 strikeouts in the game for Saldias. His predecessor, Caleb Zier, didn't strike out anybody. Quinn McGuire fanned Darren Zerillo to end the top of the 5th inning. That was the first strikeout of the game for any of the 3 St. Francis pitchers. So not a lot of Ks on the score sheet today, but all of them that we do have come in the last inning plus. Strike 1 called on Jake Vera. Saldias starts another batter off with a strike. He's getting ahead of absolutely everyone here. Vera chases one in the dirt, strike 2. Jake Vera is 0 for 1 with a fly out his first time up. And now in a hole his second time up as he tries to extend this 5th inning. The 0-2 pitch. In the dirt for a ball, 1-2. There's a ball off the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two outs, nobody on. Saldias looking to put an end to this 5th inning. And he does. Strike 3 called at the knees. Vera goes down looking, back-to-back strikeouts for Nico Saldias, and he's retired 6 of the 7 batters he's faced. We're done with 5 here in Joliet. Our score is St. Xavier 7 and St. Francis 1. Top of the 6th inning. St. Xavier leads by 6. Ball 1 outside on Ben Watkins to lead off the inning for St. Xavier. They're facing a new pitcher here Zach Blazkovich is in for St. Francis. The fourth pitcher of the game for the Saints as Watkins taps this one foul and evens the count at 1. Watkins came on defensively for Colin Wolfe a couple of innings ago. He picked up an RBI single his first time up, later came around to score. So productive first at bat for Watkins. Blazkovich's next pitch is over for a strike, 1-2. Kevin Cardis started, went 3 2/3 innings. Nick Clemens faced just one hitter and retired him. Quinn McGuire pitched the 5th inning, allowed 2 runs on just 1 hit, and now Blazkovich strikes out Watkins swinging. So 1 up, 1 down in the 6th. Nice entrance for Blazkovich, the freshman from Joliet Catholic Academy right down the street. Blazkovich making his 8th appearance of his rookie year here. No record, a 2.19 ERA. In 12 1/3 innings coming in, he had allowed 3 runs on 13 hits. That ball stroked out to deep right field and up off the wall on 1 hop for Berrios. Daniel Berrios stops at second base. It's a double. Daniel Berrios has his second 2-bagger of the day. He came in hitting just 172 for the season, but with some clear pop. 6 extra base hits coming in, and now he's got 12 hits on the season, and 8 of them have gone for at least 2 bases. A 1-out double here in the 6th inning, and it sends us back to the top of the order, and Drew Hunneford. Hunneford is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a walk. He bats with Berrios at second base and takes ball 1 inside. Blazkovich this season, giving his numbers coming into today, he's already faced 2 batters. You can add a hit and a strikeout to these totals, but coming in 12 1/3 innings, 3 runs allowed on 13 hits with 5 walks and 9 strikeouts. Just past 7 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. The sun has set. The lights have been on for a couple of hours already. Strike called. It's 1-1 on Hunneford. All hands on deck on the St. Francis pitching staff today. Brian Mahalick's pulled in 3 relievers already as that ball is slapped into left field. A base hit for Hunneford. Berrios comes around third base. Vera comes up throwing, misses the cutoff man. And as Berrios scores, Hunneford is able to take second base on the throw. Back-to-back base hits for St. Xavier extends their lead to 7 runs. It's now 8-1. Hunneford has his second hit and his second RBI of the game. Add his results from game 1 today. He's got 4 hits and has been on base 5 times today. Hunneford now has 14 RBIs for the season. So he's had a big day. A lot of hitters for St. Xavier have had big days. They have outscored St. Francis overall in today's doubleheader 16-3 now. They took the opener 8-2, and of course they got the 8-1 lead now in this one. The umpires are talking things over with St. Xavier right now. I'm not sure what the issue is. We'll wait a second to get a signal on this one. As it stands right now, 8 runs on 10 hits, no errors for St. Xavier. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for St. Francis. Again, the Saints are on their 4th pitcher of the game. Now, 3 of those 4 pitchers have given up at least 1 run. The only one who didn't was Nick Clemens, who faced just 1 batter. Got him to pop out in the 4th inning. Not sure what the confusion was there, but whatever it is seems to have been cleared up. Evan Orzak will bat next. Orzak's had a quiet game too. He's 0 for 2 with a pop out. He's also lined into a double play. He walked and scored back in the 1st inning. That double play, though, was a screaming line drive with the bases loaded. John McGuire made a great leaping grab. to rob him of a base hit. Ball one up high. One and 0 on Orzek with a runner at second base and one out in the inning. Good start to this appearance for Blazkowicz. Blazkowicz struck out the first batter. Since then has given up a double, a single, and now a stolen base. Hunterford swipes third. Ball two on Evan Orzek. It's 2-0, and there's a man at third base now with only one down. Second stolen base of the game for Drew Hunterford. Infield in for St. Francis, and a balk is called against Blazkowicz. So St. Xavier adds another run to their lead. It's now 9-1. The pitch did not count. The balk came first. And Hunterford comes all the way around. And I talked about this last inning. St. Xavier's hitting the ball hard today. Obviously 10 hits speaks for itself. But in addition to that, just doing all these little things, taking extra bases and manufacturing runs, it's been really impressive. Drew Hunterford, in the span of 3 pitches, came all the way around the bases, and he singled. That was all he did. He hit a single, and he made it all the way home. Again, on 3 pitches. So the first pitch is the single. He takes second base on the throw home. When Jake Vera missed the cutoff man, he stole third, and then he came home on a balk. And that's just the way things have been going for St. Xavier today. They scored a run back in the first inning on a walk, and then a 2-base throwing error on a pickoff attempt, and then the next pitch was a sacrifice fly. Similar in the 5th inning. Declan Smythe doubled. He moved to third base on a wild pitch, and then next pitch, sacrifice fly. St. Xavier's been playing really well in today's doubleheader, and in a lot of cases you make your own luck. Some of these defensive miscues from St. Francis have led to some base advances. Some wild pitches have as well, but the Cougars have done a really good job of just always doing the right thing when it's presented itself and taking those extra bases. That ball is flown out to deep left field, playable, as Jake Vera backs up and makes the grab. 2 down. The bases are empty with 2 outs. And Blazkowicz can go back to just trying to get outs here. Doesn't have to worry about any base runners. Jimmy Smythe is the batter. Smythe is hitless, but a productive offensive game just the same. He's walked and scored a run, and he's driven one in on a sacrifice fly. 2 runs are in this inning for St. Xavier. This is the 4th inning of the game in which they've scored multiple runs. It's the 5th time in 6 innings they've played it at least 1. First pitch strike to Jimmy Smythe. Another right-hander is warming up in the St. Francis bullpen right now. They've got a lot of available arms, even though they did have that doubleheader yesterday. Ball outside, 1-1. This game was originally scheduled to be played on Tuesday, which would have been a little bit better for the Fighting Saints from the standpoint of their pitching staff. Strike over the outside corner, 1-2. They would presumably have been available to bring back anybody who pitched on Thursday against Olivet Nazarene to go tomorrow. But since it was moved up a day, those guys are all on a little bit shorter rest. However, because this game was moved up now, it gives them a little extra break before their next one. They'll take the field on Friday to start a 3-game series against Calumet St. Joe's. Ball 2, the count is even on Smythe. 3-game series this weekend against Calumet. 1 here on Friday, and then 2 there on Saturday. 2-2 pitch. Lined up the middle, moving to his right. McGuire fields it on a hop. Off-balance throw to first. Got it with a nice pick by Eric Maffey on the other end. Well played by the St. Francis defense, and the inning comes to a close, but St. Xavier scores 2 more runs on 2 more hits. And as we head to the bottom of the 6th, our score is 9-1, favoring the visitors.
Leading off the St. Francis sixth inning, the shortstop, number 3, Noah Carrero.
9-1, St. Xavier over St. Francis as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order for the Fighting Saints. Noah Carrero leads things off 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. He takes ball 1 up high. First meeting today between Noah Carrero and Nico Saldias, who came on to start the 4th inning. He's faced 7 batters. He's retired 6 of them. The only man to reach did so on an infield single. It's 1-1 on Carrero. Top of the order has struggled today for St. Francis. Carrero and Martinez, numbers 1 and 2 in the batting order, have gone a combined 0 for 4. That was after both men had some success in game 1 of the doubleheader. There's a called strike, 1-2. It is Martinez on deck, and then Eric Maffey. If anybody reaches base, we'll see Jake Lasota here in the 6th. Fly ball into right field. Few steps back, catch is made by Daniel Barrios for the first out. Five straight set down by Saldias. That ties the game high for St. Xavier pitching. In fact, 10 of the last 11 hitters have been retired by the combination of the current pitcher and the starter Caleb Zier. Alex Martinez is 0 for 2. He's flown to center and to left. The first pitch that he sees is up a little bit high for ball 1. One 0 offering on its way. In there for a strike, 1-1. Saldias working quickly, misses downstairs for a ball. It was called a ball. Martinez asked the umpire just to see if he could get a strike on himself, I guess, but the umpire said no, still a ball. I'd say if Martinez wanted the strike, he could have just swung. But probably better off with a 2-1 count. And now there's a strike. It's 2-2. Two-two pitch. Chopper to the shortstop. Picked up by Declan Smythe. The throw to first is there for out number 2. So 6 straight now retired by Saldias, and here's Eric Maffey. Maffey is the lone man to cross the plate in today's game for St. Francis. He hit a solo homer to center field back in the bottom of the 1st inning. Long time ago in this game. That tied the score at 1. It had the Fighting Saints feeling good about where they stood in this game, and then St. Xavier immediately jumped back on them and scored 2 runs in the top of the 2nd inning. And they have never let up. They've just kept pouring on runs. 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Fouled away by Maffey, 1-1. Trying to keep this inning alive. St. Xavier pitchers have faced the minimum in 3 of the last 4 innings. This would be 4 of the last 5. If Maffey can't get on base, he takes a strike. It's 1-2. So the Saints are down to their final strike of the 6th inning. Ball in the dirt, 2-2. Lasota waits in the on-deck circle, hoping for a chance here in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-2 pitch to Maffey. Popped up, high in the air, right side, foul ground over towards the seating area, and it's just out of play. Still 2-2. Bounces up onto the berm out in right field. First baseman Patrick Duran chased that one down and leaned over the railing, and actually the ball was within his reach. He just slightly missed it. Came at it from a really tough angle going out from the first base position, and it was a little bit over his head. If he had an extra half a second, I think, to position himself, he probably would have made that catch. But fortunately for the Saints, he did not, and the at-bat continues. Maffey will see another 2-2 offering here. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove, strike 3. Another strikeout for Nico Saldias. He's got 5 of them in 3 shutout innings. We go to the 7th. St. Xavier leads St. Francis. It's 9-1. We move into the 7th inning with St. Xavier on top, 9-1. Patrick Duran is the leadoff batter this inning against Zach Blazkovich, who's on for his 2nd inning of work. Blazkovich misses the outside corner with ball 1. Mixed bag in the 6th for Blazkovich. Gave up a couple of hits and a couple of runs, but then he settled in and got out of the inning, retiring the last 2 batters. He also had one strikeout in the inning. 2-0 on Patrick Duran, the cleanup hitter, who has gone 0 for 3. Duran had a huge game 1, went 3 for 4, came a triple shy of the cycle, had a 3-run homer, finished with 4 RBIs in the game, giving him 30 for the season already. Swing and a miss, it's 2-1. You have all that production in one game. You don't really need to do that much in game 2 for it to be a successful day. So he's 0 for 3 today. Still, if you told him he'd be 3 of 7 with 4 RBIs and a homer, I think he'd be pretty happy with that. Ground ball to the right side and just out of the reach of the diving first baseman Eric Maffey. It's a base hit for Duran, so he is on base for the first time here in game 2. Nice effort from Maffey, just missed it. So with a runner on first and nobody out, Declan Smythe bats for the 4th time. Smythe is 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles and a pair of runs scored. He takes ball 1 outside from Blazkovich. Smythe also has 1 RBI to his credit today. Gives him 19 for the season. His 2 doubles are numbers 7 and 8. Called strike. It's 1-1. 8 doubles for Declan Smythe in just 26 games played. That's a big number. Just about half of his hits have gone for extra bases this year. Just a little bit under half. Ball low, 2-1. Came in slugging better than 500 for the season. An impressive number for the shortstop, who had a high batting average as well, but 315 on this team is below average. They came in hitting 316 as a unit. Got a couple of regulars hitting above 400 for the season. Called strike 2. The count is even. Runner at first, nobody out. Two-two pitch from Blazkowicz is up and in, ball 3. So full count now on Smythe. Duran is at first base. St. Xavier trying to open up this lead, move it into double digits, and get out of here with a win. They've already gotten one win. They're trying to get out of here with 2. Line shot in the left, right at Jake Vera. He ducks down and makes the catch on that sinking line drive. And that's the first out of the inning. A hard hit ball by Smythe. But this time he is not able to pick up a base hit. Just a hard line out. Duran is forced to stay at first base. And the batter will be Jordan Bach. It has been a productive day for Jordan Bach. 2 of 2 with a couple of RBIs, 2 singles, a sac fly. Catching position has gotten some big production in both games 1 and 2 today. Bach takes ball 1 outside. Orzak in the first one, and now Bach here in the second. 2 of them have combined for 3 RBIs in this doubleheader. St. Xavier has scored 17 total runs in these 2 games. Throw to first base. The runner wasn't taking much of a lead. So Duran calmly takes 1 step back to the base and plants himself there. One ball, no strikes on Jordan Bach. Fly ball left field foul and out of play. Count is 1-1. CCAC play got off to a great start for St. Francis. They struggled through a very difficult non-conference schedule down south. Came back home to start the conference season last week. And they won 3 of their first 4 games. Ball inside, 2-1. But so far today, it hasn't looked so good. They've run into a buzzsaw. St. Xavier has been really impressive in all phases today. They were not technically the top team in the conference. I think Roosevelt is 1-0, but St. Xavier 20-4 overall record coming in. So they have been the best team in the conference overall this season, not necessarily including only conference play. But they were just outside the top 25. And they may move into that top 25 in the next poll. They continue to play the way they have. They're 21-4 now and on the verge of improving to 22-4 if they can avoid a huge collapse today and a big comeback from St. Francis. Strike 3 called over the inside corner, out number 2. Zach Blazkowicz has his second strikeout in his inning and 2/3. And now if he can retire Darren Zerillo, or the pinch hitter for Darren Zerillo, it'll be the second 0 on the scoreboard in this game. St. Xavier has scored in 5 of the first 6 innings. And they were in good shape to make it 6 out of the first 7 after the leadoff single this inning from Patrick Duran. But he is still stuck over at first base with 2 outs. And now it'll be up to Tyler Hedman to try to get him in. Hedman pinch hits for Zerillo and gets his second at bat of the doubleheader. Came up with his first hit of the season in game 1. And now he'll bat with a runner at second base because Blazkowicz is called for a balk. The second balk against Blazkowicz in as many innings. Patrick Duran moves up to second base. So Hedman's got an RBI chance now. He can bring a run home with a base hit. Strike called, 0-1. Hedman came up as a pinch hitter late in the game earlier today, and he singled, later came around to score. Again, it was his first hit of the year. He had come in at 0 for 6 this season. He takes a breaking ball low and away. The count evens at 1. Next pitch from Blazkowicz is swung on and hit in the air out to center field, deep but playable. Backing up and making the grab, Luke Ketchum ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. St. Xavier leads St. Francis 9-1. Bottom of the 7th, 9-1 our scores. St. Xavier leads St. Francis. Jake Lasota leads things off this inning. Sam Ryan into the game now at second base for St. Xavier after Tyler Hedman pinch hit for Darren Zerillo last inning. And Nico Saldias is still on the mound for St. Xavier. He misses high for ball 1 on Jake Lasota. Lasota checks his swing, takes high, and it is a ball on appeal. 2-0. Saldias has pitched 3 innings so far. He misses upstairs once again. In those 3 innings, he's allowed just 1 base runner. That was John McGuire, who currently stands on deck. McGuire reached on an infield single with 2 outs in the 4th inning. And that is all the reliever has given up. Strike 1 called. He's got 5 strikeouts through 3 innings. He's retired 7 in a row and 9 of 10. Swing and a miss. The count goes full. Jake Lasota is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout so far in this game. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3. He is the 6th strikeout victim of Nico Saldias. Actually, he was the first strikeout victim as well. So he's gone down on strikes twice now. 1 out in the 7th inning. John McGuire is the batter. McGuire 1 for 2 in the game with that aforementioned infield single. First pitch of this at-bat is popped out of play for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch taken for a ball. It's 1-1. McGuire has reached base 3 times in his 5 previous trips to the plate during today's doubleheader. He's trying to make it 4 out of 6 right here as he takes the ball inside, and he's got a good count for it. 2-1. Sam Tumulty is on deck. Josh Kernbauer due up 4th this inning. He'll bat if anybody reaches base as the count goes to 3-1 on McGuire. Bottom of the 7th inning. Saints haven't scored since the 1st. A solo homer for Eric Maffey. Fights it off foul to the right side. It's 3-2. St. Xavier has not trailed at any point in today's doubleheader. They've led by multiple runs pretty much the whole way. McGuire takes a ball up and in. So he's on base for the 2nd time in this game and the 4th time in the doubleheader. He remains the only man to have reached base against the St. Xavier relief pitcher. He's done so twice now. Saldias has retired everybody else. So the string of 8 straight set down is now over. It had been 13 of the previous 14 retired. Here's Sam Tumulty. He takes strike 1. Tumulty is 0 for 2 in this game with a ground out and a strikeout. 0 for 4 so far in the twin bill. Foul tipped. Back off the catcher's glove, or might have hit his chest protector. The count is 0-2. Runner at first with 1 out, an 0-2 count on Tumulty. Kernbauer on deck. Saints trying to spark a late rally here, get themselves back into this game. They've still got 8 outs to play with. Ball 1 high. I mentioned they have not led today. They've trailed pretty much the whole way, and they've trailed by multiple runs pretty much the whole way. St. Xavier scored 3 in the top of the 1st of game 1. That kind of set the tone. Ground ball to 3rd, picked up by Smythe. He throws to 2nd for the force. The relay throw is not in time. So they are not able to turn 2. 5-4 on the fielder's choice. Tumulty is aboard. He's got some of the better speed on the team. There was no chance they were going to double him up on that play. The inning goes on for Josh Kernbauer. Kernbauer is 0 for 2 in the game. He's grounded out and popped out. He takes ball 1 up high. That 3-run first inning in game 1. 5 straight men reached base. 3 hits, 2 hit batters. And really, we didn't know it at the time, but it established what St. Xavier is going to do throughout this game. Just take advantage of, or throughout this doubleheader, really. Ball 2 inside. Take advantage of everything that's given to them. Pile up some runs and then play with a lead. They scored 4 late runs in the last inning of game 1 to pull away to an 8-0 lead at the time. It had been a close game most of the way. Swing and a miss, 2-1. This one not as much. They scored in the first inning again. This time, though, the Saints were able to respond and get a run in the bottom of the 1st, but Cougars kind of pulled away after that. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. That's strike 2. 2 runs in the 2nd put St. Xavier back on top 3-1. And then Kevin Cardis pitched a perfect 3rd inning. So we went into the 4th with a 3-1 score. It seemed like Cardis had some momentum, was pitching well. Maybe the Saints had a chance to get back into it. It hasn't worked out that way as that ball's rolled slowly to the shortstop. Nice play by Declan Smythe. He throws out Kernbauer on his way to first base. The inning is over. A 1-out walk is the only offense for St. Francis. John McGuire remains the only man who can reach against this St. Xavier bullpen. Saldias has been fantastic now through 4 innings of work. We'll head to the 8th. It's 9-1 St. Xavier. Ben Watkins leads off the 8th for St. Xavier, leading by 8. Watkins takes a ball downstairs from the new St. Francis pitcher. Zach Blazkowicz went 2 innings. He allowed 2 runs during those 2 innings on 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Watkins fouls one off his foot, and he hobbles that one off. Strike 1. Count is even. New pitcher is Matt Lopez. Lopez, the 5'9" tall sophomore right-hander, is the 5th pitcher of the game for St. Francis, following Cardis, Clemens, McGuire, and Blazkowicz. Lopez is making his 7th appearance of the season, all in relief. He's 2-0 with a 6.3 ERA. He fires a strike to Watkins, 1-2. In 10 innings pitched, Lopez has allowed 8 runs, 7 of them earned on 8 hits, 7 strikeouts, with 6 walks so far this year. He's ahead of the first batter that he's facing, Watkins, who is 1 for 2 in the game. Takes the ball outside, 2-2. Watkins came on earlier for Colin Wolfe in center field. And an RBI single, scored a run his first time up. He struck out against Blazkowicz. Takes the ball high and count goes full. Some action down the left field line. St. Xavier's got their bullpen up for the first time in a while. Nico Saldias has been really good. They've not had any need to call on any help for him over the last 4 innings. That ball flipped out towards the center of the infield, and it's caught by the shortstop, Noah Carraro, who moves over to his left to put it away for the first out of the inning. 1 up, 1 down in the 8th. The leadoff man is retired, and that brings up Daniel Barrios. Barrios is 2 for 3. Came in hitting under 200 for the season, but with a bunch of extra base hits, and that's been the case today. 2 doubles for Barrios in his 3 at-bats. He has 1 run. He takes the ball inside. Zach Blazkowicz pitched a scoreless 7th inning. It was just the 2nd scoreless inning for a St. Francis pitcher today. Kevin Cardis set the side down in order in the 3rd. Now Lopez trying to put a 0 up there for the 3rd time and the 2nd in a row. Barrios takes the ball outside, 2-0. There's a called strike. Count is 2-1 on St. Xavier's number 9 hitter. Drew Hunniford will bat next. We roll back around to the top of the order. Lopez trying to get the 2nd out first. We got Watkins to pop out to the shortstop, and now he evens the count on Barrios, 2-2, getting an ugly swing from the St. Xavier right fielder. Two balls and 2 strikes. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter here. 2-2. Popped up, shallow left center. Vera comes in. The left fielder makes the catch. 2 away. That's 5 straight Cougars that have been retired over the last few innings. In fact, 7 of the last 8 have been set down. That 4th time through the order, pretty effective for St. Francis pitchers. Blazkowicz and Lopez combined on that. And now we're back to the top of the order for the 5th at-bat for Drew Hunniford. Hunniford is 2 for 3 in this game. A pair of singles and a walk. He has driven in 2 runs, stolen 2 bases, and scored once. Hunniford rips one to first base. A nice backhanded stop by Eric Maffey, who steps on the bag and retires the side. 3 unassisted, and that makes it a 1-2-3 inning. Second one of those today for St. Francis pitchers. We go to the bottom of the 8th. St. Xavier 9, St. Francis 1. Bottom of the 8th inning, Luke Ketchum leads things off for St. Francis against a new St. Xavier pitcher. Luke Ketchum, Jake Vera, and Noah Carraro here against Matt Bohm. First pitch is fouled back by Ketchum. Luke Ketchum is 1 for 2 today with a single. Struck out his last time up against Nico Saldias, who was fantastic in 4 innings. Strike over the outside corner, 0-2 on Ketchum. Saldias, 4 innings, did not allow a run. He gave up just 1 hit, 1 walk. Both were John McGuire. That's the only man who reached against him. Swing and a miss. Bohm is off to a good start. He strikes out Ketchum to start the inning. 1 up, 1 down in the 8th. That'll bring up Jake Vera. So final numbers on Saldias: 4 innings, no runs allowed, 1 hit, 1 walk. He struck out 6. Vera pops up the first pitch, foul to the left side and out of play, strike 1. Vera batting for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. Matt Bohm, a freshman out of Evergreen Park, Illinois, is appearing for just the 2nd time this year. He has no record and an even 9 ERA. Well, ERA, I guess, is not so important a stat when you only have pitched 1 inning, and that's the case for Bohm. He allowed 1 run in that 1 inning, 2 hits, did not walk anybody, struck out 1, gave up a solo homer. Bounced foul down the first base line. It's 1-2. So that's the story on Bohm, which is to say there isn't much story yet. Still building a name for himself collegiately as he tries to work his way through the bottom of the St. Francis order. Vera flies it in the air out to center field. Watkins steps back, now comes in a few paces and makes the catch. So nice start for Bohm as he comes in and records 2 quick outs. And now it's up to Noah Carraro to keep this inning alive for the Fighting Saints. The senior shortstop is 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out and flown out twice. 2 hits in game 1. He entered play hitting at .306 for the season. He takes ball 1 here. Saints don't have a hit since the 4th inning. Carraro tries to change that, slicing one out to right center field and into the gap. That gets past Watkins and to the wall. That gives at least 2 bases for Carraro. He tries for 3. Here comes the throw. It's late. A triple for Noah Carraro. And that gets the dugout fired up a little bit for St. Francis. They've struggled to get into any kind of offensive rhythm tonight. Breaks them out of their slump with the first extra base hit of the game. Or I should say their first extra base hit since the 1st inning, because that would be accurate. Eric Maffey hit a solo homer back then. Their last 3 hits were all singles. This is just the 3rd time today they've gotten a runner into scoring position. Strike 1 called on Alex Martinez. Of course, they had the Maffey home run, which was the 1st time, and then in the 4th, John McGuire reached on an infield single and moved to second on a wild pitch, but was stranded there. Called strike 2 on Martinez. Alex Martinez 0 for 3 in the game, trying to get out of here with at least 1 hit. But he's behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Check swing on a ball downstairs on the appeal down to second base. He did not go around. Count is 1-2. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Bohm has missed on back-to-back pitches. Martinez staying alive in this at-bat. Maffey on deck. Saints still trying to make a game of this with 4 outs to play with, down by 8. They were down by 8 late in game 1 and made a little run, although only put a little dent into the lead of St. Xavier. They ended up falling 8-2. Martinez takes his 3rd straight in the dirt. The count is full. With a runner at 3rd and 2 outs, the 3-2 pitch fouled away, still 3-2. Matt Bohm trying to pick up his first scoreless inning as a member of the St. Xavier University pitching staff. Got off to a great start with a strikeout and a flyout, but the triple for Carraro has made him sweat a little bit. Now it's 3-2 on Martinez. The 7th pitch of the at-bat is tapped foul. He'll see an 8th pitch. Another right-hander throwing in the St. Francis bullpen. After Matt Lopez pitched a scoreless 8th, it looks like we'll see a 6th pitcher in the 9th inning for the Fighting Saints. Strike 3 called. Martinez goes down looking, and the inning is over. Bohm strikes out 2 in the 8th, and the Fighting Saints don't score. They squander the triple, leave Noah Carraro at third base. We've got 1 inning still to play here in Joliet. Our score is St. Xavier 9, St. Francis 1. Top of the 9th inning, we've got a new pitcher for St. Francis, and I think we're going to get a bunch of new batters for St. Xavier. Tell you about each of them as he comes up. It's 9-1 right now. St. Xavier leads St. Francis, and they are now just 3 outs away from closing up a victory and a doubleheader sweep. They'll try to get through the 6th pitcher of the day for St. Francis. The new pitcher for the 9th inning is Mac Malcheski. Malcheski is on for the 7th time. It's his 4th relief appearance. So far 0-1 with a 15 ERA. In 9 innings, he's allowed 16 runs, 15 of them earned on 13 hits, 14 walks, and 6 strikeouts on the season for Malcheski. And he faces Toby Rigsby to start things off here. Rigsby pinch hitting for Orzek. Evan Orzek went 0 for 3 with a walk in today's game. And now it's Rigsby's turn to bat. And he takes the first pitch strike. With the 8-run lead, Addison Rouse has decided to see what his bench has to offer. Rigsby grounds it to the shortstop. Carraro charges, gloves, throws, and gets his man. Nice play by Noah Carraro for the first out. So Rigsby is retired. Just his 7th at-bat of the season. The senior is sent back to the dugout, and now we've got another pinch hitter. This is Trevor Hauscher, now batting for Jimmy Smythe. Next pitch from Malcheski is high, ball 1. Hauscher is 3 for 6 in limited action this year. He's got 3 RBIs. He takes the ball high, 2-0. So he has not been called on often, but when he has, he's been pretty productive. He takes upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. For St. Francis, Malcheski replaced Matt Lopez. Lopez pitched the 8th inning and went 1-2-3. Pop out, a fly out, and a ground out. Kevin Cardis started and went 3 2/3 before things slipped away from him in the 4th inning. And we saw Nick Clemens for a third of an inning. We saw Quinn McGuire for an inning. Zach Blazkowicz pitched 2 and looked pretty good, and Lopez looked good in his inning as well. And now Malcheski trying to do the same. Full count on Hauscher. And he takes ball 4. So he started him off with 3 straight balls. Came back and worked the count full, but he lost him on the 3-2 pitch. And there's a man on for another pinch hitter. It'll be Nick Fees with 1 out and 1 on. I believe St. Francis has made a defensive change as well. It's Alex Milcars over at third base right now, as Nick Fees takes strike 1. So Milcars is in at third for Alex Martinez. Throw over to first base, not in time to get Hauscher. Now Chesky's pitching. Those are the only changes for St. Francis, and of course for St. Xavier. It's a brand new lineup. Rigsby, Hauscher, and Fees batting this inning instead of Orzek, Smythe, and Duran. The count is 1-1 on Fees. Nick Fees getting his 8th at bat of the season. Fouls back the next one. It's 1-2. He's 1 for 7 so far this year. He's come on as a pinch runner a few times and has scored a few runs. But not too active at the plate, but when you've got a big lead late in the game, it gives you a chance to get a look at some different players. Ball low and away. 2-2. Fees is a freshman from Munster, Indiana, transferred over from South Suburban. He pops this one back behind home plate and out of play. Still 2-2. Looks like another pinch hitter on deck, I think. I don't think that's Declan Smythe. No, we'll get to it when we get there. Fees could hit into a double play right here and make it a moot point. 2-2. Ball 3 outside. These Cougars reserves are making Malcheski work hard to get his outs in this 9th inning. Back-to-back full counts. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Malcheski has his first strikeout since entering. 2nd out of the inning. And strikeout number 7 this season for Malcheski in 9 2/3 innings pitched. That brings up another pinch hitter. This will be the junior Patrick Hayes. Hayes takes ball 1 low. So 4th batter of the inning, 4th straight pinch batter. It is 1-0 on Hayes. Swing and a miss. Count is 1-1. Patrick Hayes this season is 1 for 9. His one hit was a big one, a homer. So he has had some success at the plate as he swings and misses here. Makes the count 1-2. Maybe he hasn't had the success at the rate he'd like, but you're going to get just one hit. I guess you take a home run. He's also, like Fees before him, come in a few other spots as a runner and scored a few times. He's got 3 runs, 2 RBIs for the year. He's also got 1 strike away from sitting down. Tips it foul, still 2-2. Malcheski trying for an impressive 9th inning here. He did walk Hauscher, but now 2-2 on Patrick Hayes. Already struck out Fees, and this would be a scoreless inning if he can get this one. Downstairs, ball 3. But again, they're not giving in easily to Malcheski. Been a lengthy inning for him. This will be his 21st pitch. A long pause and time called. Malcheski, 6'4" tall, 191 pounds. Tall, lanky right-hander. He is 7 inches taller than Nat Lopez, who pitched the last inning. Strike 3 called, got him looking over the outside corner, and the inning is over. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mac Malcheski. And we'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance coming up for St. Francis. They trail by 8. Bottom of the 9th inning, it is a 9-1 score. St. Xavier holds the lead over St. Francis. One last chance for the Fighting Saints as Eric Maffey comes up to bat, leading off the bottom of the 9th inning. He faces right-hander Matt Bohm on for his second inning of work. Bohm's first pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. Bohm was sharp in the 8th, gave up a 2-out triple to Noah Carraro, but left him at third. So he came up with 2 strikeouts in an otherwise perfect inning. Strike over the outside corner, 0-2. Eric Maffey homered way back in the bottom of the first inning. It's the big hit in this game for the Fighting Saints, obviously the result of their only run. Ball 1. Up and away. The home run was Maffey's second this season. It was the 15th hit by a member of the Fighting Saints in their 25 games played. Ball low and away, 2-2. It's Maffey, Lasota, and McGuire due to hit this inning. I don't see any reason that Brian Mahalik would make any major changes to that lineup. Of course, we saw St. Xavier make a bunch of changes last inning. 3-2 on Maffey. Pinch hitters up and down the lineup, and they've made a few more changes defensively. I don't think I've caught all of them. But Hauser stayed in the game to play third base. Ball in the dirt. So after getting ahead of him 0-2, Bohm misses on 4 straight pitches to Eric Maffey. And the leadoff man reaches for the Fighting Saints. That brings up Jake Lasota.
Catcher number 14, Jake Lasota.
There's a new shortstop for St. Xavier. There's a new left fielder. I haven't gotten all of their numbers yet. But there are a few new players in the game. Ball low and in on Lasota. 1-0. Jake Lasota has struck out in each of his last 2 at-bats. He singled back in the first inning. 1 for 3 in the game. St. Francis trailed by 8 heading into the bottom of the last inning in game 1. They were able to put up a little bit of a fight, had some big hits, and scored 2 runs as Lasota pops it up to shallow right field. Backing up the second baseman, Ryan makes the catch for out number 1. Sam Ryan's been out at second base for the last couple of innings. That's the first play he's made. He has not come up to bat. So it is Patrick Hayes staying in at short. So it's Hayes at short and Hauscher at third base. John McGuire is the batter. He flips the first pitch foul for strike 1. McGuire is the only man who is able to solve Nico Saldias today. Saldias pitched 4 innings, allowed only 2 base runners. They were both McGuire, who reached on a single and a walk. Saldias would be in line for the win here, I believe. Ball up and in, 1-1. The starting pitcher threw well, too. Caleb Zier went 3 innings and allowed just the 1 run. But it was Saldias who came out of the pen for 4. Ball low. And the count goes to 2-1 on John McGuire. Sam Tumulty is the on-deck hitter. 1 out, a runner at first base. St. Francis down by 8. Runner on the move. Pitch is taken outside for a ball. Throw down to second base is not in time. So Eric Maffey steals second. Count moves to 3-1 on McGuire. And there's a man in scoring position for the 4th time today for St. Francis. See if they can get him in. McGuire swings and rolls it foul. Count is full. Payoff pitch, swung on, flown out to right field. That's a foul ball, and it's out of play. Still 3-2. St. Francis will get 3 days off after this one. They next take this field on Friday. Single game Friday, doubleheader on the road on Saturday. Ball inside, and John McGuire draws his second walk of the game. He's on base for the 3rd time in this game and the 5th time in the doubleheader. Nice game for McGuire today. So 2 on with 1 out for Tumulty. I don't think the weather is going to be quite as nice this weekend as Tumulty drives one out to left center field. Long run into the gap, and it drops in between left and center field. Maffey's going to come in to score. McGuire stops at third base. Tumulty at second. It's an RBI double. And the Saints are off and rolling again here in the last inning. They always bring out that offense late. Better late than never. Sam Tumulty has his first hit of the game. It's an RBI double. Give Tumulty his 4th double and his 8th RBI of the season. So Maffey scores, McGuire at third, Tumulty at second. The batter is Josh Kernbauer, who swings through strike 1. Matt Bohm looked so good in the 8th inning, rather. Addison Rouse doesn't want to have to pull him in the 9th. You guys heading back down to the St. Xavier bullpen. They thought they were done for the day. Foul back. The count is 0-2. Kernbauer is 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a pop out. Trying to keep this 9th inning rally going for St. Francis. Ball 1 low. 1-2. Still just 1 out in the inning. Bohm sets for the next pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And now there are 2 outs in the inning. So the last hope for St. Francis today is Luke Ketchum. Ketchum is 1 for 3 in the game. 1 for 5 with a run scored in the doubleheader. Our score is 9-2, but Ketchum bats with 2 men in scoring position and 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Trying to keep this rally alive. Ketchum takes the first pitch over for a strike from Bohm. Saints mounted a late rally in game 1. Fell short. They've mounted a late rally here in game 2. Still well short, but with 1 out to play with. As Ketchum fouls it back, now they have 1 strike to play with. 0-2. 2 walks and a double kept St. Francis's hopes alive here. Bohm seems to have settled in, now trying to put away Ketchum. Hard hit ground ball past third base and foul. Still 0-2. Matt Bohm, the 3rd pitcher of the day for St. Xavier, following 3 innings of Caleb Zier and 4 of Nico Saldias, and now trying to finish it off and complete a doubleheader sweep for the St. Xavier Cougars. Looking to pick up their 22nd win of the year. The 0-2. Up high, ball 1. If Ketchum keeps this game alive, Jake Vera will bat next. It's 1-2. With Bohm pitching out of the stretch, the freshman sets and deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3. It's in the dirt. The throw goes down to first base, and that makes it official. Game over. St. Xavier takes down St. Francis by a final score of 9-2. The Cougars come up with a doubleheader sweep, and they do so in impressive fashion, defeating the Fighting Saints by a combined total of 17-4. So a big win for St. Xavier in game 1, another big one here in game 2. And it wraps up after it looked like St. Francis still had some hope with a couple of walks and a double with back-to-back strikeouts from Matt Bohm to put it all away. Let's go back over the scoring in this one. It started early as St. Xavier scored 1 in the first inning. Orzak walked. He moved to third on an errant pickoff throw and then scored on a sacrifice fly. St. Francis did have hope. They hit a solo home run. It was Eric Maffey who did it right out to center field in the bottom of the first inning. That tied things up at 1. And it was 1-1 only very briefly because St. Xavier reclaimed the lead for good in the top of the second inning. They scored 2 runs on 4 hits in the second inning. Actually had a chance to run away early. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, but the play of the game for St. Francis came when Evan Orzak, in that bases loaded situation, hit a screamer to the right side. John McGuire made a leaping grab, and he was able to save a few more runs from scoring, turning it into a double play and keeping the score at just 3-1. But St. Xavier put up some big runs in the middle innings. 2 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and that made it 9-1. And that would be the score all the way into the bottom of the 9th. That's when St. Francis got 1 more on the board on the RBI double that we just saw from Sam Tumulty. But that's all she wrote. 9-2, the final score. 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for St. Xavier. 2-6-2 for St. Francis. The doubleheader sweep for the Cougars improves their conference record to 6-1. They are now a very impressive 22-4 overall. St. Francis falls on the doubleheader sweep to 3-3 in CCAC play for the year. They are now 7-18 overall this season. So a tough day at the office for the Fighting Saints. They'll have a few days to sit back and reflect before they return to action on Friday afternoon here against Calumet St. Joseph. We'll have that broadcast for you before they wrap up that 3-game series on the road. That'll do it for this broadcast, though. Again, a doubleheader sweep for St. Xavier. They beat St. Francis 8-2 in the opener, 9-2 in the finale. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off from Joliet, Illinois. We'll talk to you next time.